dream was to become a doctor, but since I can no longer do that, I work in clothing factories to pay for my sister's education, so she can become a doctor.
It's unbearably hot. They have to work every day in these conditions without being able to go to school, without being able to envision a future, a different dream than this. They work without any kind of protection, barefoot, immersed in this extremely toxic liquid.
I work there until 10 p.m. Often I go to bed at 1 or 2 a.m. Mum gets angry because since I started working in the factory, I can't sleep well anymore.
They don't want us to get close here. They keep taking us to this side, so I can already tell you that on the other side, there are children working in this facility on the clothes that reach our stores and that we often wear ourselves.
These 500 manufacturers form a highly responsive supply chain, small batch production model. From design and fabric sourcing through production and packaging, the entire process can take as little as a few hours. Environments, which range from large factories to small family-run workshops. To be honest, these conditions may not seem pleasant, but they represent the industry standard for garment manufacturing in China.
They'd be expected to do. They get paid per piece, so their skill and speed determine how much they make.
It depends how difficult the item is. Something simple like a t-shirt is 1 to 2 yuan per piece, and I can make around a dozen in an hour. We earn so little. How is that enough? The cost of living is now so high.
Fashion as an environmental problem is fairly recent. It's gotten a lot of heat for waste that shows up in open dumps in the Atacama Desert in Chile, in West Africa. If we do those life cycle assessments of apparel and we get very consistent findings, the environmental hotspots are always material production, followed by what we call the use phase, which for apparel is basically washing and drying.
Fast fashion, the goal is to make as much profit as possible in the shortest amount of time and with the least amount of cost.
The options to a new outfit are endless and affordable, or so it seems. But the cost has to go somewhere, right? The fashion and textile industries make up 9% of ocean microplastic pollution a year, use about 15,000 chemicals, and take up close to 215 trillion liters of water, which could fill 86 million Olympic-sized swimming pools.
The fashion industry is probably responsible for somewhere between 2 and 8% of the total world's global carbon emissions that's being spewed out.
Every year, roughly 100 billion garments are produced globally, and more than half of those items are discarded within a year. That's according to a 2016 study by McKinsey Sustainability. Found in the last 10 years, used clothing exports internationally from Chicago have more than doubled. The clothes they sell overseas are finding new owners. But researchers say that's not always the case.
There is a lot of misinformation. People have to buy these bags, closed bags, bales of clothing, and they don't know what they're buying. And they have to, for each bale, they have to pay quite a hefty price. Last time I heard it was $500. So many have to take a loan. They open these bales and they find increasing volumes of unusable textiles, often synthetic textiles that do not biodegrade. We should stop treating donations as a way of disposing of our garments guilt-free. It's not free for the environment. It's not free In terms of social costs, not at all.
Singapore, this has been the missing bin. All these years, we have the general waste bin, we have the blue bin, which accept only 4 material, which is paper, plastic, glass, and metal. What about textile? There's no specific bin just to collect textile waste. Sure, the good ones we can donate to the charity organizations, but they are also overburdened by a lot of donations from our country.
So if we can't repurpose it, we will then, as a last resort, we will send it for energy release, which is also, what they do is they put the material in a kiln. It helps to provide energy in the kiln, and then at the end of that process, the residual is then blended into the concrete. That's what we do. So it avoids landfill. Nothing goes into landfill.